Greetings from the land of the future. Now, unlike Marty from Back to the Future, I'm not going to go back in time and be tempted to sleep with my mom. Instead, what I'm going to do is tell you about this while planning to sleep with Nate's. Now, here's the problem. This recording got really screwed up. Cosmo, our son, who is a cat, don't ask questions about that, decided to jump onto the computer and completely shut it down. He jumped onto it 4 times.
There were these 2 guys in a lunatic asylum. Oh, hell, you've heard that one before, haven't you? Let's just get down to business. You're probably wondering how this is all going to turn out, aren't you? Is it driving you bats? You probably thought you could follow that idiot guard to the old man, didn't you? Sorry about that. Hang on a second. If I outsmarted you, and I am, well, quite clearly insane, what does that make you?
Ended up the 4th time his foot landed on the power button. I could not keep him off of it. And so he has a vet appointment when this is going up, but we are basically kind of having to work around that. So I had to re-record all the footage that got corrupted for probably 30 to 40 minutes of gameplay. And so some of it might be slightly off. We did our best to do the exact same things, did our best to go back to those places, but it is what it is. So I hope you still like it. I thought they were fun conversations. And to correct Jill here, because a lot of you pointed out, Batman in this is actually 6'2". She was thinking of Jason from Arkham Knight, who is, I believe, 6 foot flat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But also, you made it sound like we're gonna get, like, Cosmo medicine for his stupidity or something.
No.
The vet appointment is unrelated to him being an idiot.
The vet appointment is because he keeps shaking his head and acting like there's something wrong with his ear, and he also has a cyst near his eye.
Yeah, it's like in his waterline. It's gross.
But I do want to say that regarding Batman's height, due to those of you who are know-it-alls and just correct us because you're way too into the lore, which I wish I was right about this, maybe he's wearing platform shoes. Have you ever thought of that?
Oh.
He might be 6 foot flat and overcompensating.
And he's wearing 2-inch shoes.
And he's wearing 2-inch platform shoes.
And Jill was right all along.
So next time you correct Jill on something that you're probably right on and she's wrong, just remember that I'm the one who gets in trouble for it.
Batman, what's going on? The crazies are moving towards the medical facility. What's Joker doing?
He's trying to take over the island piece by piece. It looks like medical is his next target. Has anyone got out of the building?
I saw a doctor try and get out. He was torn apart. Throw it in the water. He never stood a chance.
You wait here. I'll be back.
Okay, Cosmo keeps jumping on the thing.
He's also really smelly.
I literally can't get him to stop jumping.
He needs to lick his butt.
He needs to get out of here.
Cosmo, go lick your butt.
I want everyone found. Hey, I don't want anyone missing the party. I'm too good a host.
I like to imagine Mark Hamill in the studio going,
I think they just replayed it over and over.
No, I know. I just like to imagine him doing that.
I was going to talk to you about something that I thought was interesting, that we were recording GTA and I wanted to talk about it there, but I wanted to talk about this for a minute. You know what I miss with video games?
What?
Okay, sorry, I'm dealing with the cat. I wanted to talk to you about something though really quick, which I miss in video games, which is, do you remember limited edition consoles?
Yes.
Where they would do basically a console and it'd be themed after something?
We have a couple.
We do. I feel like they barely do those anymore, don't you?
They only do them for, like, special giveaways, I've noticed. Like, they did a special Xbox Series X for when that Barbie movie came out.
Yeah, but they almost never do them normally.
No.
So, obviously Xbox, they used to do really cool ones. And now they basically hit this point where all they do is ones for giveaways, like you said. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Nintendo still does them sometimes, like the Animal Crossing one we have.
Yeah.
But Xbox used to do these for, like, every Xbox 360 console. There was a... maybe you could show some of these. There was a Gears of War Xbox 360, which is really cool. It's red, and it's got a skull on it.
I can't see any tobacco clumps. I'm going to have to retrace my steps and pick the trail back up.
I don't know about you, but I'm having a great time. You guys just make it look too easy. like you're not even trying. Which is not what I pay you to do. Find everyone. Now!
There's an R2-D2 Xbox 360.
We have that one.
With the C-3PO controller.
There was one where it was like,
Take patient interview 17. Joker remains uncooperative. My earlier diagnosis remains true. I believe he enjoys his persona too much.
What's up, Doc?
Today I thought we'd try something different.
Oh, you make me blush, Doc. I have a girlfriend.
Dr. Quinzel, I know. I've seen the tapes. I saw what happened.
What can I say? I'm a charmer.
Anyway, I thought it would be good to talk about your childhood.
Oh, ever heard of romance, Doc? I don't give up the goods for free. You'll have to try harder.
What are you hiding?
Didn't you hear me? You scratch my back, Doc, and, well, I won't have you wrapped in plastic and left in a gutter.
there was one where it was actually what was it? The Halo 5 one. It was the Xbox One, and we have that one. There was also a Halo 4 Xbox 360.
That's pretty cool.
But even other than just Xbox, there was a Final Fantasy 13 one
Cool.
for PS3.
Cool. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like there's been all kinds of different ones.
There was also a Pikachu Nintendo DS, or 3DS, or whatever.
And there's a Pikachu Game Boy Advance.
That's awesome.
You know, I just feel like they used to do these things all the time, right? And they were these...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting some troubling reports of a bat infestation in Joker Asylum. Let me remind everyone that it is their civic duty to exterminate this vermin. We can't have it making its way back to the mainland.
kind of clever, creative ways to push people to buy a console if they were a fan of something.
And now all the consoles look the exact same.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know.
everybody has a white PS5. Everybody has a black Xbox Series X.
Yeah, there's very few unique ones. They happen. I think there was a PS5 for... Well, there was the PS5 Pro, which was the PlayStation Classic one that looked like a PS1. I actually wanted it, but scalpers got it.
Yeah.
And they're the only people who got it, really.
Yeah, and they're probably still being sold online for $3,000 fucking dollars.
Yep. Then there was also the... What was it? I think a Spider-Man 2 one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the most part, they just don't...
Anyone seen the big bad bat? I warn you, they look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
make these things as much anymore. And I feel like it has to do with the rise of corporate minimalism.
I hate corporate minimalism.
How everything looks the same and it's uncreative.
I can't tell you how much I hate minimalism in general. I completely dislike that aesthetic. It's honestly the bane of my existence.
Well, I mean, I get not wanting to be a hoarder. You know, like that's one thing.
That's not minimalism.
No, but I'm saying I feel like minimalism is that times 50.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an extreme version of that.
Something I really like is something called maximalism, which is like lots of colors and patterns and different things all pushed together into like making a beautiful room, but it's like very, very colorful and just full of different stuff. I can show a picture of like an example of it here, and that's like one of my favorite styles ever. I just love it so much because it's so colorful and fun.
All new residents of Joker Asylum that they are expected to follow one simple rule. Punishment for not following this rule is death. No ifs, ands, or buts. You know what the best thing is about the rule? It's a secret.
So, you have given in and taken my map. I hope it proves useful.
And it's like you'd walk into a room and you'd be like, wow, this is nice, this is happy. You know what I mean? Like, I just really don't like dull and sad and corporate.
Sometimes maximalism, though, to me feels like hoarding. Like, sometimes it feels like too much.
No, I don't think you know the kind of maximalism I'm talking about, because you're thinking of, like, what your mom does.
No, I'm not. I know it's like utilizing your entire space.
No, it's like colors and patterns.
Yeah, that's one form of it, but you know how minimalism can also just be like a near bare room with very few things on it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I've also seen people do maximalism where they fill their entire room.
I guess that can be it, but it's not like the term I was talking about. I was talking about the ones with colors and stuff, whereas...
Sitting here watching cartoons. If any of you find Black Gate Rejects is bored, come over and see me. Look up when you open the door. It'll spoil the surprise and my experiment.
A lot of minimalism is like black, white, gray, no patterns.
No, I agree. I get what you mean. I wasn't trying to dispute you. I was just saying I've seen people call the other thing that too.
Where's my phone?
Sitting over here so that you can't be distracted.
No, hand it to me. I want to show you what I was talking about.
Okay, fine.
Paging Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard.
Like, look at this. It's not hoarding, but like, look at all of the like different colors and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's all very colorful in patterns, and it's not just blank.
I think to me though, a lot of those still end up looking like too busy. Like
You think
too
so?
many conflicting things.
I like it. I think it's cool.
It just depends for me, because I feel like a lot of art rooms do have a lot of different colors and stuff in them. So I'm not against it. But
Hello, I'm Warden Idiot. Just let me welcome you to your new home. Here in Idiot Asylum, we have just one rule. You'll never leave us.
You need me to do anything?
Just stay alive. I'll do the rest.
Huh?
So the Joker's free again.
Not for long.
So, the nutcases are running wild. Do you need any help?
Just stay alert, officer. I'll take care of it.
I also I don't like the idea of not having anything. You know, like, oh, owning possessions is bad. There's this very weird kind of globalism type mindset where it's like having your own space is bad, having your own stuff is bad.
I heard what happened on the news. Thought you bringing Joker back here was a good thing.
So did I. Stay here while I deal with this.
All the stuff you have, it should be digital. It should be able to fit in a little box.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't
It's
it?
very weird to me.
What is the deal with that? Are they trying to get us ready for the apocalypse where all we have is one backpack that we carry on our back and that's it?
There's conspiracy theories about it,
Really?
but I don't really know the actual reason.
Did you like my conspiracy?
I do like yours. If that was what it was, I don't think they'd care.
That makes sense.
If we're talking about they, like the government, I don't think they'd much care if people are ready for an apocalypse. But
Hey, scram, bats! This is my me time.
Where's Gordon?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Here.
Shut up!
Ah, you crazy bitch. Harley!
Ah!
What's he doing here? It's too early.
I'm sorry, Puddin'. Don't be angry with me. Mwah!
Go, you little minx. I can never stay mad at you.
Sorry, B-Man. You'll have to find another way. Bye-bye now.
No way past the security gate. Gotta find another route.
I do think that one thing it could be is they want to make people consume. Like, they want people to pay, but they don't want people to consume in a way where they are paying money to get physical things that take up tons of space. Like, they want to fit as many people as they can into small areas.
But they want them to keep paying for stuff.
Yes.
So they tried to find ways to make it all digital.
That's what I think, but I guess I could be wrong.
I think that's interesting. It makes sense with, like, the streaming services and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of that, too, is a mixture where companies want you to buy things, but they want you to buy access in that way because they don't want you to not have to pay for it again. Like,
I want all the doctors rounded up. Search every inch of the medical building. I mean it. Search every room, every office, and every trash can. If another doctor tries to then you won't. I'll just flood the rooms with happy gas and leave you to die. Hell, I may do that anyway. Sounds fun.
It kind of gets complicated because with that mindset, I think these companies want you to buy their movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want you to own the movie.
Nope.
They want you to buy access to it, because then what they can do is they can get you to keep buying access to it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that, then you can't just buy a DVD or a Blu-ray of your favorite movie.
And have it forever.
Right. You'd have to buy it again and again each month by buying Netflix or Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Then if you buy things like Netflix or Disney Plus, then you don't have to have, like, back in the old days they used to have, like, VCRs and DVD players and stuff like that. Or you needed a specific device in order to get onto streaming services, like...
Shut it and get down there with the others. Move it!
Okay, I hear you. I'm going.
Why does he need the doctors? I've got to save them.
Netflix, like, I remember there used to be something called, like, a Roku or something that you could use that you plugged into your TV.
Yeah.
And now it's just, like, you just have the TV, and it's a smart TV that hooks up to the internet, and that's all you need. You know? So, like, that's another minimalism thing, is, like, you'd have nothing else except for your tiny room and your TV.
Yeah, I mean, basically they just want you to buy access to things. I don't know if necessarily it all ties together or not.
I think it all ties together. I think they want you to live in a tiny little box of a room, and all you have is a bed, a TV, and maybe a gaming console, and that's it.
But for what purpose, like, do you think it ties together?
So that we can keep having thousands and thousands and thousands of people in, like, really tiny apartment buildings, and they're all squished together, and we can get as much money out of all of them as possible.
That's kind of what I think to an extent. Well, but you don't see that with certain things, but I also think that some of those are, like, the people who own everything, they want to have all the land. You know, like, they want themselves to have 500 acres of land, and they want you to live on a, 30-acre plot with 1,000 other people.
No, they want you to live in a
rise.
2-foot by 2-foot room.
Right, but in a high rise that's packed with people like a sardine can.
True.
That's we're agreeing.
You're like 2-foot by 2-foot.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, that is kind of what it is.
How would a 2-foot by 2-foot room feel? Like
a prison,
Can
probably.
you imagine it? Would you think you'd even fit?
I said protect medical and you have faith. Hello? Is there a doctor in the house? No? Pity. I seem to have a pile of wounded henchmen that need medical attention.
The room's clear. You're safe now.
I have seen tons of tiny, like, Japanese places where,
Oh, like those sleeping pods.
Yeah, that, and I kind of think that there are some people in the world who want everything to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how it benefits them. I mean, is it really just so that they can have all the land? Is that it? Or, like, what is the purpose of it?
I don't know, but here's another conspiracy theory for you. That's why Japanese people shame fat people, because if you can't fit in their sleeping pods that they want you to sleep in, then that's a problem for their economy.
I don't think that's what it is. I think it's that they view it as...
Dun dun dun!
I think they view it as slothfulness and overconsumption.
No, they want you to fit in the sleeping pods.
That's true, and they'll cram you in there if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are, like, China's the same way. There are stores that, like, are basically called... Like, I was reading this one thing about a store that's basically called The Cow, and it's referring to an overweight woman
There's also
who'd shop there.
They're also like that in Thailand. I saw a video of a girl going to Thailand, and it was like moo calories and like stuff like that, where the clothing stores were called.
My family's blood ran through the heart of Gotham. We were doctors, politicians, and teachers. We have been the organ cleaning the arterial filth from the city. We have been its servants, giving all to protect it. And still it has chosen to hurt us.
So the great detective has solved a mere 10% of my challenges. Are you ready to give up yet?
Yeah. I don't know, man. For how mean-spirited people act like America can be about stuff, I feel like Asian cultures...
They're really mean.
They're really mean to each other, you know?
Yeah.
They're really, really mean just to each other.
Yeah. Wow,
TikTok,
that's creepy.
newsflash, someone is not getting out of here alive.
Are those, like, real human skulls? Did he eat those people?
Pretty sure they are.
Oh.
Yeah, this was Killer Croc's.
Did he eat all those people today, or has he been eating people and just the asylum didn't notice?
I don't know. I think they'd notice that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm wondering if he ate them all today. Because, my goodness. And also, how do you get those bones so clean?
I don't know.
That's
I guess
talent.
he's just real good at his job.
Yeah.
His job.
He must have, like, sucked all the meat and fat off of them and then spit out the bone to get them clean. Have you seen people do that?
Yeah, he'd be mad that his victims weren't more overweight.
True. He'd be like, the fat makes them juicier.
Yeah. There's something in here.
Did you like the accent I gave him?
I didn't understand where that was coming from.
Well, that's rude. How dare it?
Forcing it a little bit, Julie.
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're getting at here.
Oh, I don't know. I just was answering him.
I'm glad you're standing up for the spirit of Amadeus Arkham.
Yeah, well, you know what? With a name like that, you need somebody to stand up for him.
Yeah, his parents didn't when naming him.
True.
Batman! I don't know what happened. One minute we were doing our evening rounds, and the next, armed thugs burst into the room and took us hostage.
Did they have anyone with them?
They took someone into the elevator. I couldn't tell who it was.
They obviously didn't want to be followed. The elevator appears to have been powered down. You're going to be okay here.
We'll be fine.
What about the others? We heard gunfire. They could be dead. We should go and help.
Oh no, I forgot. Dr. Kellerman was in the patient observation room, and Dr. Chen went to surgery.
And Dr. Young went to X-ray.
Okay, stay here. I'll find the other doctors.
Batman saved us. I never really believed he existed.
You okay? We're safe. Batman saved us.
Patient interview 21. Patient's name is Edward Nigma, also known as the Riddler. So, Edward, Warden Sharp tells me you've been leaving threatening riddles scrawled on the asylum walls. Again.
One would have to be severely paranoid to read threats into harmless riddles, Dr. Young. May I test you with one?
Very well.
What is it that walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, and finally 3 legs?
A human being. As a baby it crawls on 4 legs, as an adult it walks on 2, and in later years it uses a cane.
Good try. But the answer to all 3 is a baby. True, it crawls on all 4s, but cut off its legs and it can only wiggle on 2 limbs. Give it a crutch, it can hobble around on 3. You see?
It's horrible. How can you even joke about that?
Easily, Doctor. It's not my baby.
What's the worst name you've heard?
That's a good question. I'd really have to think about it. What about you?
I feel like mine would be racist.
Come on, just
seriously, you actually want to know?
Just tell us.
I genuinely think
this is a safe space.
Some of the worst names I've heard are when black parents want to be creative.
Really?
But like they don't actually want to name their kids something of like cultural value or something like that, like from Africa or something. That's one thing. That's just, you know, that's going to be odd sounding maybe to someone because they're not used to it. I'm talking about like Ladasha, and it's like L-E and then a dash and an A.
You know, speaking of black people names, there is one name that I can think of that's pretty bad.
What?
It's, this was a woman, a real woman on like American Idol or some other like game show like that. And I was watching it and her name was Regina.
Yeah, that one's not. Anything that rhymes with vagina though is probably going to not be a great... Okay, I'm right here.
You'd think it would be Regina, but she pronounced it that way. Is it just me, or is that redhead kind of fine?
I mean, for this era, I don't know. Like, define fine.
I don't know. I mean, I think she had a good face.
Manly.
I thought she had a good face.
Is it just me, or is that chin mogging up a storm?
Okay, let's not be mean to Chad, okay?
Look, his pores are on full display.
Well, that's because he had to shave his beard for this. Those are his hairs.
It would be kind of... I feel like he couldn't have a beard because every time he had a beard and Batman had a beard and it coincided.
That would be weird. That's
Yeah.
why he has to shave all the time. Right?
Yeah.
Because then people could recognize his beard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I can recognize you by your beard.
That's a good point.
So there you go.
I feel like that was a terrible riddle.
It was a terrible riddle. Yeah.
He just decided to change the answer.
Yeah. I have some more awful names to tell you. I looked some up on Reddit, but I also remembered a couple from my own experiences.
I actually thought of another one, too.
That you met? Or
No.
just that you know is bad?
No, that I know is bad. It's more of a generic answer. The people who name their kid after a fictional character, but they'll use the whole character. Like, not just they're a fan of Luke Skywalker, so they name them Luke, but they'll actually name their kid something like Luke Skywalker Thomason. You know what I
That's
mean?
their first name is Luke Skywalker?
Yes, like, people do this. They straight up... They will actually do this.
I heard of somebody... Cancel.
He ended our recording. He ended
Did it save?
How did he do that? I had that there.
I had it there too. I had moved it
Bad
back.
boy. Bad. We lost the recording.
Press save project.
I can do that, but like we lost the other recording because if that fails during it just fails.
Can you go look in your folder?
No, it's gone.
Just go look for me.